Hi, you guys. We're going to be talking about homelessness, the shelter system, and sexual harassment when it comes to healers. Okay, so I'm going to briefly share about my experience. I know that before I got into the shelter system, one of the contributing factors was me being disconnected from who I was due to a lot of trauma. Okay, so just to do soul retrieval was difficult because I was constantly having to, deal with individuals who were constantly bringing conflict to me out of, due to sheer extreme envy and jealousy. I was constantly around individuals who was constantly planning and plotting. And they were so vindictive that they were willing to work together, even if they didn't know each other well enough, to make it look as if I was mentally and emotionally unstable, and to make it seem as if I could not take care of my child, and to make it seem as if I was not able to provide for us. So, if you are a healer and you are starting new, you're going to have to really trust your spirit guides, because there's a lot of low vibrational people working in the shelter system who, when you're hidden in plain sight, they may not be able to put their hands on what it is about you that stands out, but they are going to target you. The spiritual warfare is going to be super dire. And the goal while you're in the shelter system, and hopefully, let me check the cards to see if that changed, is to have you give up, get into form some type of addiction or something like that, and things like that. So it can seem as if you're just, your own problem and issue. All the while, you're under heavy spiritual attack. People know that you're highly emotionally sensitive, and they really just want to basically scapegoat you for their issues. Due to basically a lot of spiritual warfare is caused due to people being emotionally unstable. Literally. So, we have the Ten of Wands, supported by the Seven of Wands, supported by the Two of Cups, supported by the Ten of Swords. So what this tells me is a lot of healers who end up in the shelter system, have either left a very abusive, toxic lover who is sending heavy spiritual warfare their way. And the spiritual warfare is basically meant to make their life a living hell, so they will commit suicide. And most of the time, this is a narcissistic lover who is doing this kind of conflict magic on a healer. Now, I'm wondering that as I'm saying this is 333 confirmation. I was thinking to myself that what the person did to the healer is going to happen to them. We have the Temperance. We have the Five of Swords, and this is supported by the Eight of Wands. What this is telling me, and this is just what I'm thinking, but I'm going to, I'm going to get some more information, that the narcissist who did a bunch of magic so that the healer could become so that the healer could become homeless, is going to experience homelessness themselves. Due to, what I'm picking up here from the Temperance being here, them not, them trying to be the peacemakers around a bunch of conflict. What I'm picking up is their karma is a bunch of conflict magic is going to go to them. This is after the healer has left them energetically. And when I say energetically, what I'm picking up is the healer will be taking back that the high vibrational energy that they gave to the narcissist. This is, in fact, the narcissist would have energy harvested off of the healer to basically use the healer's magic against them. Basically using their magic against them to cause conflict. So basically how I'm picking up on this, the narcissist would have took on the temperance, the peace and calm energy, where the narcissist would be able to, effectively make money so they could have, consistency and be able to, especially if children are involved, so they can appear as if they're the stable one, right? Able to, quote unquote, find work and maintain consistency of work. That sense of security that the healer comes with them, being able to go about freely and being able to take care of the basic necessities, all while being aware that you have people who don't want you to succeed. But the healer normally has this energy where I'm going to conquer the world whether you want me to not succeed at all. Now, the narcissist normally has this energy of straight fucking chaos surrounding them. And so when, a healer willingly chooses to give their heart chakra energy to the narcissist, this is where this energy transfer takes place. So this is where the narcissist is using the empath's good energy to basically have conflict magic sent their way when the empath willingly chooses to basically go for their freedom. Because they realize that if the empath goes for their freedom, they're going to get their energy back. So the narcissist goes above and beyond to basically trauma bond and traumatize to traumatize the healer, while convincing other people that the healer is a narcissist. Okay? And one of the ways to do it is by conflict spells connected to homelessness. I've experienced this. All right, so we have we got the Magician. We got the Six of Wands and Three of Cups supported by the Tower. So this is telling me that during the time that the healer is, experiencing obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, especially dealing with homelessness. And I'm going to cover sexual harassment, because if you are a healer, you naturally have a very healing sacral chakra, and even same sex will basically gang stalk you just so that they can get to your energy. Like literally, they will act as if they want to be your friend, hoping that, they can manipulate you into some sexual type things. See, there's nothing wrong with the LGBT community. It's a bunch of narcissists of the same sex, and this is masculines included, who is basically trying to play God in a healer's life. Healers naturally attract, especially powerful healers, naturally attract people who is trying to play God in their life by basically it's something with the emotions, trying to control a healer's emotions by putting them in these dire situations, working with people in the background who also have, who also are triggered by the healer. Envy and jealousy in the homeless shelters. And this is exactly what I experienced. There was staff plotting and planning against me while I was minding my own fucking business. Now, if you was out and about drinking and drugging, they won't saying shit. They won't doing shit. But if you are a healer and that emotional insecurity of extreme envy and jealousy due to comparison came up and they weren't willing to change it, you was highly gang stalked. I had people doing the crazy making thing on me. Literally, I had people work together so I could go to jail. The person who was supposed to be my case manager is actively stalking me now, and I'm not even in the fucking shelter. She was trying to have a sexual relationship with me, and because I was denying it to her, when the cops came, when I was attacked while I was meditating at the shelter, and this person looks so innocent. You would never imagine she would be capable of doing this. She made it seem as if I was mentally unstable. So basically, if you are a healer and you are not giving into the bullying of this extreme sexual harassment, not only are you going to be targeted to be deemed mentally unstable, you're going to have people try to basically, get you to go to jail. And all this is to prevent you from moving past them. We have the Star card. We have the Five of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. So, like a healer who's in this homeless shelter is going to have to, deal with a bunch of envy and jealousy. People who have homes, people who have things, and all they have to do is do fucking shadow work, but they choose not to. They choose to try to tear the healer down. They choose to try to cause so much conflict on the healer while in the shelter. So the healer is just like, I'm tired, I can't recharge. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm still breaking away from, feeling like I'm living in the shelter. Because before I used to be working around the clock because I was constantly having someone checking on me to see if I was recharging my energy up or not. They weren't getting it, so they were trying to see if she recharging her energy. So I would basically be out for majority of the day. And then I would be working on my videos. Now I'm finally in a place where I can, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this means if you're listening to this, you're about to be moving to some place. I'm not exactly sure how. I'm going to get some cars. But the Four of Pentacles is telling me that you are building the foundation for financial stability and success. And with this Five of Wands here, it's like if you are in a homeless shelter, dealing with the shelter system, these people who are envious and jealous can see that, and they try to do everything to prevent you from coming out on top. Now we're going back to the lover who has been doing spells so that you can be homeless. Because healers are naturally independent. We naturally are going to overcome every obstacle. However, when we are in relationships with narcissists who realize that we are not the energy sources going to keep giving after a certain time, they create obstacles where we feel we're going to have to come to them. This is where this homelessness comes in. This is where sexual harassment comes in. All of this conflict magic is done just so they can get our sexual energy. There's going to be a part 2 of this because I really feel that someone needs to hear this message.